In our main event tonight at PWI's Hot August Fights, Mitsuharu, Misawa, and Yoshinari Ogawa taking on Vinnie, Massaro, and Doug Williams. Ron Head joining you here along with Michael Modest, and we have a coup of the century.
Hello everybody, glad to be here, Ron. Man, this was such a great honor to have Misawa and Ogawa here tonight. It was a dream of mine to bring Japanese-style wrestling to the United States, and it happened this night, and it was very, very emotional, very exciting for all of us at Pro Wrestling Iron.
Well, this truly an international collision, as representing the United Kingdom, anarchist Doug Williams, maybe the finest, most underrated fighter in the entire industry, teaming up with Vincenzo Massaro. Vinnie Massaro and Doug Williams, the underdogs here tonight.
And I'll tell you, Doug Williams, I've wrestled Doug actually in Ireland, and what a competitor. He's incredibly strong, very agile, knows every hold in the book. I'll tell you, he really is an amazing athlete.
Knows every hold and every counter hold, just as important, and his tag team partner, maybe one of the underutilized, most underrated fighters as well in the business, Vinnie Massaro.
I couldn't agree with you more. Vinnie Massaro, an incredible wrestler, actually really from Italy, not born in the U.S. Came here when he was 8 years old and became a big wrestling fan, and now he's living his dream. The thing I think that's really held Vinnie back probably more than anything has got to be his physique. I'm not blind, and I'm looking, and I see a lot of pasta.
Well, do not be deceived by that physique. That man is deceptively agile. He knows how to move, and he knows how to take your head off. And if you think that he's got that physique against him, think again, because Vinnie Massaro has all the tools.
He really does. As far as, I'm not taking anything away from his technical knowledge. He's an incredible wrestler. But again, that physique costs him, and you see it after about the 10-minute mark of a match. You really see it starting to wear on Vinnie Massaro.
Warren Michaels with our official introduction. The crowd very receptive to Doug Williams. The anticipation leading up to this match, the butterflies in Massaro and Williams' stomachs probably resemble more vampire bats right now.
Actually, Ron, true story, I didn't tell Doug who he was going to be wrestling on the Hot August Fights event. And when he showed up to the U.S. and I told him that it was going to be Mitsuharu Misawa and Yoshinari Ogawa, he was beside himself, very excited, has a lot of respect for Misawa, as do really anybody that knows anything about professional wrestling. If you like professional wrestling, you've got to know something about Misawa and his popularity in Japan.
As well as Ogawa, and this, for the record, is Yoshinari Ogawa's pro debut in the United States. Never before has he competed in a U.S. ring. Tonight here at Hot August Fights, history is being made, stepping through the ropes for the very first time.
At this time, Ogawa was the current Noah heavyweight champion. Wrestling him, first tour in Japan, I wrestled him at the Budokan Arena. We went 18 minutes, and his style reminds me a lot of Bret Hart. He's a lighter Bret Hart, but very reminiscent of Bret Hart, I think.
Those opening chords to Mitsuharu Misawa's music. You want to talk about a legend, a household name in Japan. Mitsuharu Misawa, Hall of Famer, wrestler of the decade. A man who can be compared to someone like Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, Bret Hart, or even Vince McMahon. The owner of Pro Wrestling Noah is making his return after over 10 years in the United States.
There he is, the boss of Pro Wrestling Noah. We call him Sacho. Mitsuharu Misawa. What an incredible, honorable man and great athlete.
What a treat for everyone in attendance tonight, and the fans cannot believe it. Spreading like a germ throughout the Fairfield Arena here. And the fans have shown that this is gonna be something special. Warren Michaels is about to deliver the ring intro of his professional career. And the fans cannot believe it either. Breaking out in chants of Misawa, Misawa.
Massaro thought that we had probably put some plants there. He didn't expect to get this kind of reaction from the Fairfield crowd, but man, I'll tell you, it sent chills through my body when the people started chanting his name, just like they do in Japan. Everywhere he goes, Misawa, very, very popular.
And it should be noted that both Ogawa and Misawa were advertised as Mr. X and Mr. X 2000.
The fans got a big surprise that night. There were some problems, and we weren't sure if it was going to happen. So we chose not to even advertise them on the card, and we just kind of crossed our fingers and hoped that they could be a part of our debut show. And it all came about, and I'll tell you, we were very, very excited to have them.
As the intros for Misawa. Amazing reaction.
The people love him. I mean, I was shocked. You don't see much Japanese wrestling over here other than video. I was surprised that Mitsuharu, Misawa, and Ogawa had so many fans over here in the United States.
Well, these PWI fans are not like ordinary independent wrestling fans. They read about it on the internet. They get the quote-unquote dirt sheets. They're very knowledgeable, and they've been dubbed smart fans for a reason, because they know who the top talents in the world are, and they don't get much bigger than Yoshinari Ogawa and Mitsuharu Misawa. The biggest match in Doug Williams and Vinnie Massaro's respective careers to date.
They sure don't get any bigger than Misawa. For 8 years I watched Misawa, the likes of Kobashi and Akiyama in Japan, and I watched him on video, and I never dreamed that one day I would be in the ring with Misawa, but I finally got my chance, and what an honor it was. Very nice series of reverses, and Doug using a forearm to just end that little chain wrestling there.
Well, Yoshinari Ogawa should not underestimate either Williams or Massaro. Doug Williams can easily be dubbed a man of 1,000 moves and 1,001 counters.
Test of strength here. I think Doug's got Ogawa definitely beat on strength. Very nice reversal there.
Already using technique oversize in a series of reversals. Yoshinari Ogawa is keeping up toe-to-toe with Doug Williams in a top wrist lock.
Counters with a kind of a 80s breakdance move there. What was that, a backspin?
A little electric boogaloo into a top wrist lock.
Busting loose. Nice nip up by Doug Williams. It took out with the elbow.
And a Swedish cravat by Doug Williams.
Nice break. Good counter.
Again into the cravat, broken a third time. That cravat excruciating on the neck. And Yoshinari Ogawa, who's for years been known as a junior heavyweight in Japan, recently breaking out, winning that heavyweight championship for Pro Wrestling Noah.
Won it about four and a half minutes from Jun Akiyama.
And that man is carrying the load of Pro Wrestling Noah in a great series of counters, and they're at a standoff here. These fans very appreciative, as Doug Williams has a huge chore ahead of him. What a feather in the cap it would be in either Williams or Massaro to have a victory over true legends like Ogawa and Misawa. Back to that knuckle
test of strength.
And
this is a hold you don't see a lot in the U.S. This is something very indicative to England, and Doug very well versed. The first time I ever wrestled Doug, I felt like I was being wrapped up like a pretzel. This guy's incredible.
He can turn you into a human pretzel. He knows all the techniques. But Ogawa is
stepping out of it. Nice counter. Very, very clever wrestling.
Beautifully done. But Doug Williams able to counter as well.
Goes for the enziguri. Doug ducks it. Locks him into an ankle submission.
And that's what we're talking about. Doug Williams knows all the counters. And he knows how to get a man down from any position.
Nice counter. Reached up, grabbed it, took it to an arm drag, a version of the Japanese arm drag looked like. There goes Ogawa out of the ring.
Doug Williams launching Ogawa and already trying to shake off the pain in that left arm. Ogawa, he has the experience over both Williams and Massaro, but do not underestimate the fighting power of both Williams and Massaro. These two are young, hungry lions, young pups in the industry that have a name to prove, and there is the tag, Mitsuharu Misawa.
Now Doug's going to get a taste of that forearm that is legendary. I'll tell you, I've been on the receiving end of that forearm way too many times. Very powerful man. Wrestled as Tiger Mask to begin his career, and now one of the biggest wrestling legends in Japan, Mitsuharu Misawa.
After that legendary series of fights with Jumbo Shiruda, Mitsuharu Misawa has established himself as the premier wrestler in all of Japan, and he has literally made himself a celebrity in every household in Japan. Now Vinnie Massaro tagged in. Vinnie Massaro grew up watching Mitsuharu Misawa, so this is a dream come true for him. And can you imagine the type of elevation it would be in the career of Vinnie Massaro?
Can you imagine? I mean, if he scored a win over Misawa, a legend in the world of wrestling, oh man, an incredible back spinning elbow.
Right in the jaw, in the mouth of Massaro.
Just as we start talking about Vinnie possibly winning the match, Vinnie on the receiving end of some brutal forearms and elbows from Misawa. Forward roll into a Boston Crab.
Into a camel
clutch. I'm sorry. God, the wrestler making a fatal error there. Terrible.
Vinnie Massaro so close to earlier on tapping out in this match, but able to power out of this submission hold, and Ogawa tagged.
I don't know if power had anything to do with that. I think Misawa just wanted to move this thing along, wanted to get in there and give Vinnie a little taste of what he and Ogawa can dish out. Looking at Vinnie's physique, I don't think there's a whole lot of power in that physique. I got to be honest with you.
Well, again, do not be deceived. And
I've seen more power in the Kool-Aid guy. You know, the big fat pitcher guy. You know, I love Vinnie though. Don't get me wrong, Ron. Heck of an athlete, like I said.
Well, there's where the weight advantage may come in handy, as Ogawa trying a vertical suplex attempt in that lower center of gravity.
Vinnie reversing it. Yep, exactly. He's got that lower center of gravity. It's all around the gluteus maximus area, and it keeps him heavy.
Well, Vinnie Massaro able to maintain an advantage, now tagging Doug Williams in. And there's some lethal forearms of his own on Ogawa.
There goes Ogawa to the ropes. Clothesline by Doug.
Right in the mouth, and already getting a cover.
Yeah, I didn't think he was going to get him on that. I mean, I don't think any of the fans out there in TV land thought that either, Ron.
Referee Tom Castor, however, right on top of things and exchanging forearms and uppercuts.
Nice chops. Oh, went for another European, turned into a backslide into the enziguri. Very nice.
That time that enziguri hit its mark, and Doug Williams is seeing stars right now. Ogawa is down as well, and both these men are already earlier on in this match feeling the effects.
A little bit of a mistake by Ogawa. If I was him, I would have tagged out right there.
Well, Ogawa
body slam.
Nailing him with the slam, not even going for a cover a second time, hooking that front face lock, and yes, tagging Misawa.
Smart move.
Mitsuharu Misawa, so many legendary matches throughout his illustrious career, has not made an appearance in the United States in over 10 years.
I'll tell you what I'd love to see, Ron. I'd love to see a battle of the elbows. Misawa versus the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. That would be something to see.
The bionic elbow against the roaring elbow.
I don't know.
Save that for another day and time, but remember that elbow and forearm of Vinnie Massaro also very lethal. So stiff, and he's been known to knock out many an opponent as well, trying to encourage these Fairfield fans
to get behind Doug Williams. Doug scooted out of that chin lock, turned into a nice wrist lock counter.
See, even from a defensive position, Doug Williams drops down with a drop toe hold and going to work, going back to the basics on Mitsuharu Misawa.
Doug's making a fatal mistake here, though, man. He's got him way too close to the ropes. Misawa, I really believe that he's going to be able to reach those ropes and get out of this hold. Up now, see, there you go. Smart wrestling. He turns it to a front face lock, cuts off that rope. I think Doug sensed the same thing I did.
Getting in between his partner Ogawa, trying to cut the ring off and trying to keep Misawa at bay. And back into their corner.
Here comes Vinnie Massaro again, master of the meatball. Nice series of boots to the gut. Vinnie very young at this time. How old is Vinnie? I think he's like 24, 23 years old.
Vinnie, I believe, is just about to turn 24, but already a 5-year veteran in the business. And there's that power, that back elbow hooking the leg. Tom Castor counts 2.
Glad to see Vinnie hooking the leg. Very important. Go for a cover. Hook the leg.
You may call him the master of the meatball, as the photographer's taking pictures from around the world, but that's the one, a spicy meatball. That man right there is going to prove himself as not just a comedy figure, but he will be a major impact fighter in the business.
Misawa fighting out of the chin lock. Oh, man, a devastating forearm. That one sent Vinnie rocking.
How many championships has Misawa won with that forearm and with that elbow? Tagging Ogawa in.
Count.
Ogawa just recently winning that championship with lefts and rights. Vinnie trying to keep up. And
Nice
again,
tackle.
there's that weight advantage coming into play here.
Yeah, Ron, I think you got me. Okay, so he's got a weight advantage. He is using it to his advantage, and so I guess it works for him.
And the more experienced
Chin breaker.
team.
Big forearm by Misawa. Oh man, that one sent Vinnie reeling, and like I said, I've been on the receiving end of that forearm many times, and it is no joke.
Sending Vinnie Massaro all the way outside, and Yoshinari Ogawa right on top of things. They're going to have a 20 count before they get back in the ring.
Slamming Vinnie's head into the apron. Some dirty wrestling there by Ogawa. Usually a lot more technical. I'm kind of surprised to see him just throwing him out there and slamming his head around like a big meatball.
Well, their game plan has probably changed several times throughout the course of this match. Misawa tagged back in.
European forearm of his own. They can throw that European in Japan as well.
Vinnie Massaro is down on his back. Drops down. Nice elbow, a cover, and another near fall there. See, don't think you could put away Vinnie Massaro that easily. Vinnie Massaro has wrestled against some of the top fighters around the world. And that back roundhouse kick again to the jaw. Misawa is little by little taking apart. A cover and a 2 count. Vinnie Massaro is not going to be put away that easily, even though Misawa and Ogawa have the advantage.
Right hand by Ogawa. Got Vinnie against the ropes, literally.
And Vinnie trying to shake off those blows, and still he has the heart and determination to fight back.
But it does not look good for Massaro at this point, Ron.
Vinnie Massaro is being kept at bay, whipped in, and a back elbow by Ogawa.
Ogawa charges over, nails Doug. Take care of that problem. Get Doug fired up. Here comes the referee. Oh,
Caster
Misawa.
keeping Doug Williams out, and they could be doing some double teaming, choosing not to, however.
You see, that's where they made their mistake, Ron, and that's why Donovan Morgan and I will win every time. When we wrestle in Japan, the Japanese many times will not take advantage of a distracted referee. Myself being from the United States, I will take advantage of a distracted referee every single time.
Misawa and Ogawa trying to do the honorable thing in this instance. Maybe that will come back to haunt them later on in the matches. Already, Doug Williams is tagged in, and he is unleashing on Misawa, and a knee to the jaw.
Doug hits the ropes, another high knee. Down goes Misawa. High knee on Ogawa, too. Levels him in the corner.
Williams
Doug
keeping
going
both
to the top.
at bay. All the way from the top rope. What the hell's he gonna do here?
All the way across the ring. My God, what an incredible
Puts him
display.
in. One.
Oh man, I can't believe he didn't get the win on that one. He had Ogawa down, leaped all the way across the ring to hit Misawa.
Shades of Dynamite Kid, Harley Race, Chris Benoit. Doug Williams might be getting ready to score an upset here.
Nice knee drop, second rope.
In the mouth. 1, 2. Not
out.
a 3. Again, that's what I'm talking about. Do not underestimate. These guys are hungry. These guys need to make a name for themselves, and if it's at the expense of a legend like Misawa, so be it, Mike Modest.
Nice drop kick from the second rope by Mitsuharu Misawa. Tagging out to Ogawa now.
And the Noah champion coming in.
Another chin dropper. Series of lefts and followed by that big powerful right. Doug with a nice reversal. Sends him in. Oh, tried to go for the backbreaker. Oh, man, neck breaker.
Beautiful swinging neck breaker, a lateral press. 2.5. It doesn't get much closer than that.
Doug went for that backdrop. He thought he had it. Vinnie in for the save. Ogawa going to hit him with the Luthez suplex.
And Massaro launched outside, double teaming by Misawa and Ogawa, but a double clothesline from Doug Williams Doug Williams is still holding his own against both Ogawa and Misawa.
Doug showing so much heart, using the second rope actually to pull himself over to make the tag to Vinnie Massaro.
Literally.
Here comes Vinnie. Let's see. Oh, a series of double elbow drops, it looks like. Yes.
Again, that weight coming into play here, using all his weight to his advantage, keeping both Ogawa and Misawa at bay. I believe legally it's Vinnie Massaro and Ogawa. Leg lariat on Ogawa.
You know, Vinnie, even being out of shape, Vinnie can still do some things that just amaze me every once in a while. That leg lariat, very well placed.
And a nice near fall there. You see, they're coming close to putting their swinging neck breaker. Again, we might see an upset here. Mike Modest, 1, 2.
Oh man, that would be the shock of a lifetime to see the heavyweight champion of Noah defeated by this young upstart, Vinnie Massaro. And Vinnie, I'll tell you, he's amazing because really, while he's never gotten the big break yet in the pro wrestling industry, Vinnie has wrestled for many of the top independent promotions, including XPW, APW. Vinnie, very, very good wrestler, now wrestling for Pro Wrestling Iron. Incredible athlete.
Very well-traveled, again, already a 5-year veteran, even though early in his career, early in his life. This probably the biggest match in his career. Can you imagine the type of notoriety that they would get with a victory, and it just might happen here tonight at Hot August Fights. All 4 of them in there now.
But the Japanese team fighting back. Now it looks like Misawa and Ogawa. Now it looks like they're just going to openly double team him. See, now, why wouldn't you take advantage of a referee being distracted, and now you're just going to go in there right in front of the referee and just brutalize your opponent like this?
Well, lots of times strategy goes out the window once the bell rings, and
sends him in, drop to hold. Here comes Misawa, elbow drop, nailed him.
Doug Williams still on the apron as we have almost a 3 count there. Ogawa now with the back suplex.
Hits him with the back suplex, the Luthez suplex.
And Doug Williams disposed of in this match. The legal men again, Vinnie Massaro and Yoshinari Ogawa. Another suplex.
That's going to be it for Vinnie. Vinnie Massaro defeated. Man, you know what? Was he using his weight to his advantage there? I don't think so. I think that belly collided with his face when he got suplexed, and he wasn't able to kick out of that hold.
Well, nothing to be ashamed of, as on many occasions this match they came close to putting Misawa and Ogawa away. However, experience will always come ahead in an instance like this. So there are your winners, the surprise team, Yoshinari Ogawa and Mitsuharu Misawa. Still, again, these 2 men, Doug Williams and Vinnie Massaro, have the eyes of the world watching. They are not to be denied right now. They have a future, and Mike Modest.
What I'm hoping is that when Vinnie got dropped on his head, he's obviously got a headache or something, but I'm hoping that by tomorrow he'll remember to get in that gym and get his body in shape, because that was the chance of a life.